Let's look at the connective tissue layers that surround the heart, and then we're also going to talk about the layers of the heart wall. So looking at the connective tissue layers first, you will see that there are two separate layers of tissue that are surrounding the heart. So we have one outer layer called the fibrous pericardium. It looks like a bunch of little strings or hairs almost that are all kind of clustered up with one another. This membrane is made of fibrous connective tissue. It's mainly made up of collagen fibers, which are very tough and dense fibers that are going to provide a lot of strength and toughness, forming the covering around the heart. And so this fibrous pericardium is really there to just help hold the heart in place and keep it from being able to move around in that mediastinum where it resides. Now, deep to that fibrous pericardium, we have what's called the serous pericardium, which is made of serous membranes. So serous membranes are made of simple squamous epithelium. They're extremely thin, they're very slippery, very smooth, and these membranes, these serous membranes, produce serous fluid, which is going to help lubricate the surface of the heart so that as it's moving around, when it's beating, you're not going to have a lot of friction between the heart and the fibrous pericardium that is helping to hold the heart steady and hold it in place. So if you look closely, you can see the serous pericardium here, and you'll notice that it's actually a double layered membrane. So it wraps around, and there are two layers to it. So we have what's called the parietal layer of the serous pericardium. This is the layer that's going to be lining that cavity that the heart is sitting in. Whereas the visceral layer, this deeper layer here, is going to line the surface of the heart. So the visceral layer of the serous pericardium is also sometimes known as the epicardium. And not only is it technically a covering on the surface of the heart, but it's also sometimes considered part of the heart wall itself. It's the outer layer of the heart wall. So again, this visceral layer of the pericardium and this parietal layer of the serous pericardium are both going to be producing serous fluid, which will be secreted into this pericardial space or pericardial cavity here, this open cavity. Again, that fluid is there for lubrication on the surface of the heart, so that as it is pumping or beating and moving around, you don't have a lot of friction between the heart and these membranes. So now let's look at the layers of the heart wall. And as I just said, the first layer of the heart wall is the epicardium. That's the outermost layer. It's also known as the visceral layer of the serous pericardium, whichever is easier for you to remember. But the epicardium, again, is made of simple squamous epithelium. It's very thin tissue. It's very slippery. It's going to provide some lubrication on the surface of the heart to reduce friction. Deep to that, we're going to see the myocardium, which is colored in red in this picture. The myocardium is made of cardiac muscle, almost entirely. And so its sole purpose is to allow the heart to pump, right? So it allows this muscle to contract, which allows the heart to serve as a pump to pump blood through the body. So the myocardium is by far the thickest layer of the heart wall. And then the deepest layer of the heart wall is known as the endocardium. And so you can see that a little bit better in this picture. Again, the epicardium is the outer layer. The myocardium is this muscle layer in the middle. And then the endocardium lines the very inside, those inner cavities within the heart. Now, the endocardium is also made of simple squamous epithelium. So it's also going to be a very thin, slimy, slippery membrane, which is going to provide, a slippery surface inside of this heart cavity so that blood can freely flow in here without causing a lot of friction and causing any damage to the layers of the heart. So you guys look over these. Let me know if you have any questions about them.